Thanks for joining us. I'm Robert Hadlock.
And I'm Leslie Rohde. The cleanup begins for hundreds of families in the Dallas-Fort Worth area after 13 tornadoes, just like this one, tore through the region. Now, here's a look at the tornado's toll. 650 homes were damaged, at least 20 people hurt. And DFW Airport is still a mess today after canceling hundreds of flights on Tuesday.
The city of Arlington was one of the hardest hit by an EF2 tornado. The mayor there has already declared a state of disaster, and damage estimates have tripled. NBC's Jay Gray is live just south of there with this live report. Jay?
Hey there, Robert, Leslie. Yeah, and this is the kind of mess so many are dealing with. You can see the downed trees here, the limbs and shingles like this scattered for miles. Take a look behind me. You can see this tree. It was lifted and thrown over 100 yards and into this home. The roof obviously torn here as well. This is the type of damage we're seeing after multiple tornadoes touched down yesterday here in North Texas. The day after, survivors are working through what's left of their homes and the shock of what happened here.
I don't know that it's really sunk in quite yet.
Miles of debris stretch out across dozens of neighborhoods in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Hundreds of homes and lives torn apart. But through the tears and all of this rubble, there are amazing stories of survival. This is all that's left of Chris Wilson's home. As he looks at the stairs that once led to a second floor, he can't help but think about what could have been.
My wife could have been in the bedroom. As you see, it's gone. My son could have been upstairs in his room. That room is gone.
But they are not. Somehow, no one was killed during the violent storms.
Everything worked in the city. The sirens worked, the early warnings worked, and that's why I think everybody's alive today.
Including, in at least 2 cases,
oh my goodness,
a couple of best friends reunited with their owners.
I'm so glad to see you. Oh, I was so worried about him.
Concern stretches across the region right now. Frustrated residents still unable to return to their battered neighborhoods.
We can't go check our house out. Why we got to stand side the street down here when we can be checking out and see what's going on with our property?
Officials say even though the skies are clear, there's still a real danger in some of the hardest hit areas.
We have to make sure that safety is the first order. You have no power, limited utilities. There's not a lot that you can do at this point in time.
Even though there's so much to do to try and get things back to the way they were before the storms. All of this damage and debris evidence, that's going to take an awfully long time here. Live in Kennedale, I'm Jay Gray. Robert, back to you now.
Well, Jay, what kind of response are you seeing from volunteer groups sent there to help?
You know, it's been amazing, Robert. You see so many different church groups or just neighbors or friends pouring into these areas that were hit the hardest, trying to help. I think there are 2 things here. First of all, I think a lot of people understand they live in this tornado zone. It could have been them. It could be them as we move into the harshest part of the season. And so they want to help, knowing that they'll get the same help when it returns. But also, I think you see a lot of people that just genuinely want to be here, do whatever they can to try and get things rolling, get things back to the way they were before the storm. They're realizing today, Robert, that's going to take quite some time.
Okay, Jay. Thanks very much for that live report from North Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth Airport still trying to get back on track this afternoon. American Airlines canceling 791 flights yesterday and another 424 today due to planes being pulled out of service. After they're cleared from inspections, they'll be put back into service. Southwest Airlines had no cancellations today. With that big mess at DFW, there were long lines today at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. Hundreds of people trying to find ways to get out of town without flying into Dallas-Fort Worth, including Jane Ivey. She's trying to get back to California for a funeral.
Funeral is at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so when they said they would reschedule our flight for Friday, I said, I'm returning on Friday. So they were nice enough to work around.
A couple of dozen flights were affected here in Austin. Passengers are urged to check their flight status before they head out to the airport.